guys, welcome to our virtual tour of RIT. I'm going to be one of your tour guides today. My name is Grant Franco, and I'm currently a third-year finance major in the honors program here at RIT. I'm also minoring in economics as well as management information systems, and I'm from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. Some things that I'm involved in on campus here, in addition to working for undergraduate admissions, I also worked as a program assistant for new student orientation. I'm currently the president of the Sigma Chi fraternity. I'm the VP of recruitment for our Interfraternity Council. I'm also a peer mentor in the Saunders College of Business. You can go ahead and have our other tour guide introduce herself as well.
Great, thank you, Grant. Hi everyone, my name is Anna Layden. I'm currently a fourth year in the photography program here at RIT, specifically on the photojournalism track, and I'm also minoring in political science. In addition to being a tour guide for undergraduate admissions, I also work on the media team for new student orientation. I'm the president of the National Press Photographers Association chapter at RIT, and I'm also the vice president external for an organization called Iridescence, which focuses on the empowerment of Asian women across our campus. So we'll go ahead and get started with our video. All right, let's get started with a little bit of background about RIT. So our university was founded in the year 1829. Our original campus was in downtown Rochester. We moved to our current campus in the suburb of Henrietta in the year 1968, where we've been ever since. And today we are one of the nation's premier private universities. RIT is made up of 9 different academic colleges, and throughout this video tour, we'll be able to see all of these, along with some labs, galleries, and classrooms in each of the buildings. Speaking of classrooms, about 88% of all of our classes have fewer than 40 students, and our average class size at RIT is 23, and we have a student to faculty ratio of 13:1. So students never really have to worry about being lost in any super large lecture classes or not being able to get to know their professor. Our first building that we're going to be looking at is George Eastman Hall right here. It's named after George Eastman, who was the founder of the Eastman Kodak Company based out of Rochester, and he was a very generous benefactor to RIT. Eastman is home to Henry's, which is a student-run restaurant that's managed by our hospitality and tourism management students. We also have the School of Individualized Study located within this building as well. This is a really great program for students who want to kind of hand-tailor their own program. They want to kind of combine different classes from different colleges. So any student who feels that they want to kind of really formulate their own path at RIT, this is a great school for you to join. All right, so first we're going to be looking at Magic Spell Studios. This building is an absolute digital media dream come true. It's a really incredible facility. It's 52,000 square feet, totally dedicated to digital media production. It's predominantly utilized by our film and animation, 3D digital design, and game design and development students. The facilities include a virtual reality and augmented reality labs, a 7,000 square foot sound stage, animation labs, color correction facilities, sound editing, lots of really cool facilities for our students in these programs to be using. It's a really hands-on space for our students in the College of Art and Design who are more focused on the digital aspects of art. So next up, we have my home as a photography major, Frank E. Gannett Hall. This is where we have half of our College of Art and Design, where we have our School of Photographic Arts and Sciences with majors including photojournalism, advertising photography, visual media, and fine art photography, and the photographic sciences, which include majors like photographic technologies and biomedical photographic communications. And we also have the School of Film and Animation here with our film, animation, and motion picture science majors. This building contains a number of fully equipped shooting studios, dark rooms for film photography, a number of different galleries and lab spaces for our students to be working in, as well as 3 different equipment cages for our film and photography students, as you can see right here. Essentially, what these cages do is allow students to come up with their student ID to check out any sort of camera equipment that they might be needing for their projects for 48 hours at a time. It's really convenient for students like myself who want to be using really up-to-date, high-quality equipment, but don't necessarily have the funds to be spending them on our own right now. Next up, connected to Frank E. Gannett Hall, we have James Booth Hall, which is home to the other half of the College of Art and Design, including our Schools of Art and Design. Some of the programs in here include illustration, medical illustration, interior design, graphic design, as well as our studio arts, as you can see here, with specifications in furniture design, ceramics, glass, jewelry, painting, sculpture, and so many more. Coming up, you'll be able to see our Vivir Gallery. This is one of our 3 gallery spaces on campus right here. Throughout the year, it showcases student, faculty, and alumni work, as well as other traveling exhibitions. Right here, we have the Vignelli Center for Design Studies. This was named after the Vignellis, who were a married couple of graphic designers who never actually attended RIT as students, but they came and visited our campus and kind of fell in love with the way that our university combines art and science and technology. And they actually donated their entire life's work to our university. So in this building, students in the design programs are able to look at all of their work from early sketches to final products to kind of gain some inspiration as to how those processes work. Some of the work done by the Vignellis that you might recognize include the Target logo, the old American Airlines logo, and the New York City subway map. So it's pretty cool for our design students to be able to see how those kinds of designs were created. Next up, we have the Chester F. Carlson Center for Imaging Science. This offers the nation's only bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs in imaging science, which is really awesome. Students here are learning how to transmit, display, and store visual representations of data. Students in this program actually have a 99% job placement rate immediately after graduation. So it's a really incredible program and a very unique one. Next up is this building right over here. We have the Center for Bioscience, Education, and Technology. This is home to our College of Health Sciences and Technology, which includes majors like our ultrasound program, our nutrition management, physician's assistants, biomedical sciences, and exercise science. The center includes a number of different labs, including our cadaver lab, where students are able to take classes as early as their 2nd year in their undergraduate degree, utilizing a cadaver facility, which is really awesome considering that usually you would have to wait until at least graduate or even medical school to be able to work in this kind of facility. We also have a physician assistant training laboratory and a scanning simulator lab. And our new Health Sciences Center, as you can see here, features a clinical health simulation facility as well as an actual urgent care center. Right here we have Institute Hall, which houses labs, classrooms, and research spaces for our biomedical and chemical engineering programs. As you can see here, we have our new Golisano Institute for Sustainability. This is one of our LEED certified platinum buildings on campus. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and platinum is the highest possible rating that a building can get. Essentially what this means is this building actually produces more energy than it consumes. It's very energy efficient. This institute is home to our PhD in Sustainability, our Master's in Architecture, and our Master's in Sustainable Systems. So undergraduate students normally won't be taking classes in here, but it's still a really incredible facility to walk through and see what it looks like. Our College of Engineering Technology is located in Engineering Technology Hall. This college is home to our engineering technology, packaging science, media arts and technology, and environmental sustainability, health and safety programs. This building was actually RIT's first LEED certified building, and it has the 2nd highest rating, which is gold. Louise Slaughter Hall houses labs for majors in industrial engineering, robotics and manufacturing engineering technology, and packaging science. It also includes the Center for Integrated Manufacturing Studies. One of the really cool lab spaces that students in packaging science have the opportunity to work in here is a shake table simulator, where they're able to put their packaging onto a table that shakes to simulate different modes of transportation to ensure that what they're working on will be able to withstand delivery. This is our Golisano College of Computing and Information Sciences. This is actually our largest college at RIT. We have 16 different degree programs at the bachelor's, master's, and PhD levels. We have a lot of really unique specialized programs here as well, including game design and development, new media interactive development, computer science and computing security, human-centered computing, web and mobile computing, software engineering, and computing and information technologies. One of the really cool lab spaces that students have the opportunity to work in here is the Air Gap Lab, as you can see right here. This is a self-contained lab that's used to teach students in the computing security programs how to essentially protect an organization's data and infrastructure from hackers and viruses and things like that. They're able to also create their own viruses and learn how that works and how to destroy them as well. Like I said, It's a self-contained lab, meaning that they have a completely separate network from the rest of the university. So none of us have to worry about any of the viruses that they're playing around with getting into any of our technology. But it's still a really cool lab space for them to be working in. We also have the Society of Software Engineers located within this building. As you can see here, they have a really nice space for mentoring, project working, things like that. They often bring in companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google to talk to our students. This is an example of one of our professional clubs here on campus. Most organizations, or most majors, will have some sort of organization to specifically help students with professional development. Like I said in my introduction, I am the president of the National Press Photographers Association, which is the photojournalism equivalent. So pretty much every program has some sort of organization like this to further help students with creating mentorships between upper and lower classmen, with alumni networking, and other professional development things.
Okay guys, so next we're going to take a look at Gleason Hall, which is home to the Kate Gleason College of Engineering. So programs in here would include mechanical, electrical, industrial, and systems engineering, as well as biomedical, chemical, computer, and microelectronic engineering, as well as, of course, our engineering exploration program. So the Brightman Lab, which you're going to see on your screen here, is fully equipped with computer numerical controlled machines, rapid prototypers, and 3D printers. This lab is really unique because companies can actually come in and purchase machines from our lab. We will then use that money to buy newer, more up-to-date versions of those machines. So we have a lot of really, really cutting-edge equipment housed in this lab. The College of Engineering also offers workspaces for our Formula SAE team. SAE stands for the Society of Automotive Engineers, as well as Hot Wheels, which is the first all-female team to compete in the Formula Hybrid competition. Both of those teams are very prestigious and highly ranked. Next, we'll take a look at the Center for Microelectronic Engineering, which houses a clean lab focusing on the design and manufacturing of semiconductors. Basically, in this lab, they're studying and photographing transistors that are about 100 nanometers thick. So they're very, very, very small. Most institutions use simulations for all the data they work on in this lab. At RIT, we use the real thing, which is why we have to take all these precautions to make sure everything they do in the lab stays absolutely safe and clean. So next, we're going to move over to the IT Collaboratory, which is a hub for microsystems, photonics, nanomaterials, and remote sensing systems for our industry, as well as government sponsors, including our partners in research at Alfred University, as well as the University of Buffalo. One thing to note is that RIT students can conduct research as early as their first year if they do have faculty members willing to do that with them. So moving on, we're going to take a look at the Simone Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This glass building seen here is Student Innovation Hall. This is another one of our LEED certified platinum buildings on campus, and it does house the Simone Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So this area helps multidisciplinary teams advance and develop their ideas by providing them with project space, support, mentorship, and access to many different innovative resources. If you've ever seen the show Shark Tank, we do our own version here, which is of course called Tiger Tank, but it works in a very similar way. Students from all across RIT who have any kind of idea for a product or a business can come in, present to a panel of judges, and compete for chances to win cash prizes, as well as a full scholarship to our MBA program. So next, we're going to move on to Global Village. Global Village is a favorite spot on campus, which represents many different international cultures. Our study abroad office is located here and offers opportunities for RIT students to study in over 65 different countries. RIT itself has global campuses in Kosovo, Croatia, Dubai, as well as Beijing, China. Those are really nice because those are all actual RIT satellite campuses. So a lot of times tuition and financial aid will transfer over. Classes are taught in English by RIT faculty. So that's a wonderful way that you can kind of get that study abroad experience while still maintaining the same quality of education that you would expect here on our Henrietta campus. On your screen right now, you can see Salsaritas, which is a Fresh Mex cantina, as well as Global Grill and our sushi station. Global Market here also offers ethnic foods and drinks from all around the world. You also have Crossroads, which is a station-style eatery. They have a pasta station, a pizza station, an Asian cuisine station, a market for groceries, which you just saw there, as well as a coffee and smoothie bar. One of the really nice stations that I always like to talk about is the Traveling Chef Station. So for that, we actually get traveling chefs from all over the Rochester area to cook the foods that they serve in the restaurant, bring it to campus, and serve it to us. So we can kind of get to taste the local cuisine, which is really, really nice. Global Village also features a fitness center, a hair salon, a post office for this side of campus, as well as Shop One Squared here, which sells arts and crafts featuring work by RIT affiliated artists, that primarily being students, faculty, and alumni. So if you ever need a gift for someone, you can always pop in there and find something really unique. So at this point, you can start to see that you don't necessarily need a car if you come to campus at RIT, because we do have most of the essentials for your daily life on campus for you. But if you do want to have a car, that is okay too. It's only $50 a semester or $100 a year for a parking pass, which is very, very affordable, and compare that to many other institutions where it's upwards of $500 or $600 a year to have a car on campus. So moving on, we're going to take a look at my home here at RIT. This is the Saunders College of Business. So Saunders is one of the top 100 business schools in the country as ranked by US News and World Report. Monroe Hall offers programs in hospitality and tourism management, marketing, accounting, finance, international business, management, supply chain management, management information systems, which is currently ranked 6th in the nation, as well as, of course, our business exploration program. I'll pause here for a second. You can get a great view here of our Scholarski Center for Business Analytics. So in here, you would have a stock ticker and 12 Bloomsburg terminals for financial analysis. This is great because it gives our students hands-on experience with the kinds of equipment that they will use once they get a full-time job and go out to work in industry. Our business programs are designed to utilize data to drive business decision-making, and our expertise in business analytics offers classes at both the graduate and undergraduate levels. Companies recruiting our students include Apple, Google, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, JP Morgan, and many, many more. Collaboration between the Saunders College of Business and the Simone Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which we saw a little bit earlier, actually ranks RIT the #1 student incubator in the nation, which is something that we are very, very proud of here. Moving on, we're going to take a look at Thomas Gosnell Hall. Gosnell Hall is home to the College of Science. Majors in here include biology, chemistry, physics, as well as computational math, applied statistics, then bioinformatics, biotechnology, imaging science. All of those departments would be located somewhere in Thomas Gosnell Hall. So the greenhouse is an excellent thing that we have in here. It offers students opportunities to conduct research within our unique labs, including our genetic engineering labs with in-house DNA sequencing. We have an aquatic ecology lab, as well as a molecular genetics lab. So one of the other resources that is housed in Gosnell Hall is the Bates Science Study Center. So the Bates Science Study Center is run by the Academic Success Center, and it's another really wonderful service that we have in here. It's essentially a large study lounge for students, offering tutoring and services such as algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and physics. Basically, the way it works is whenever students have homework in any of these subjects, they would just go into the study center, work through their problems. If they get to a problem they can't solve, they would just raise their hand, a tutor would come over and help them through that problem. So the Bates Science Study Center is open until 8 p.m. on weekdays, at which point it closes down and moves to Seoul Human Hall, which is on the resident side of campus, and it's open there from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So no matter what time of day it is, students really have access to the tutoring help that they need. Also, here on your screen right now, you can see the Bruce and Norah James atrium, which is really, really cool. So the story with this atrium is when it was put in 1999, an email sent out to everyone in the College of Science asking what they wanted to see in the atrium, and they responded with a bunch of different landmarks in the history of science. So you see an I for imaging science, pi to the 250th decimal, and much more. So that is a really beautiful atrium that we have here in Gosnell. Moving on, we're going to take a look at the Wallace Center Library. This provides areas for study and collaboration, loans laptops, and has various computer labs on every floor. The library is home to the Writing Commons, which is staffed with professionally trained writing assistants to help students enhance their writing skills, as well as RIT's ASL Deaf Studies Community Center, which provides students a place to learn about deaf culture and heritage. If you weren't aware, RIT is home to NTID, which is the National Technical Institute for the Deaf, so students oftentimes will pick up some ASL skills. If you don't know any ASL, which is American Sign Language, I can teach you some right now. You're welcome to follow after me if you'd like. RIT, tigers. There you go. Moving on, this is Java Wally's, which is a very popular coffee shop here in the library. So next, we're going to take a look at our College of Liberal Arts. You can find majors in here, such as Museum Studies, Digital Humanities and Social Sciences, International and Global Studies, Applied Modern Languages, Advertising and Public Relations, and many, many more. The College of Liberal Arts actually offers over 40 different minors, which is great because every student at RIT is required to do what's called an immersion. An immersion is 3 courses in a field of study other than your own. What's nice about that is since an immersion is 3 courses and a minor is only 5, it is very, very easy to just turn your immersion into a minor. That's what I'm doing with economics. So that's a great way that you can kind of add some complementary skills onto your program that otherwise you would not have had time for in your major. So moving on, you can see the Gene Polisseni Center here, which is home to our men's and women's Division I hockey teams. This hockey arena seats about 4,200 people and can be converted to accommodate concerts and other large events. We are the RIT Tigers here. One thing you might not have known is we haven't always been the RIT Tigers. We were originally the RIT Tech Men, which is basically an old guy hunched over waving a screwdriver at you. It was not very fierce or intimidating. So in the 1955-56 men's basketball season, we went undefeated, but realized that people were still laughing at us. So that's when we decided to adopt a more fierce and collegiate mascot, which is when we did adopt the tiger. And since it was the 50s, when I say we adopted the tiger, I mean we literally adopted a baby Bengal tiger. We named him Spirit, which stood for Student Pride in RIT, and he came to all the athletic and academic events for the first 3 years of his life, at which point he got big, as most tigers do, and we donated him to the Seneca Park Zoo. In addition to our Division I hockey program, we also have 24 intercollegiate teams for men and women that do compete at the NCAA Division III level. We have basketball, soccer, lacrosse, volleyball, swimming, track and field, just to name a few. We also offer club sports such as rugby, ultimate frisbee, field hockey, and skiing, as well as intramural sports including tennis, golf, racquetball, and flag football. Over 60% of the RIT student body does participate in intramural sports, so that's a really, really popular way that students will get involved here on our campus. So next, we'll be taking a look at the August Center. The August Center is staffed by physicians, nurses, and the RIT-owned ambulance, which we call RITA. That is actually staffed by professionally trained EMS volunteers who will take you to any hospital within a 15-minute drive for free, which is an excellent resource. We also have personal and psychological counseling, therapy dogs, as well as tranquility services in the August Center. We do also partner with Wegmans to get prescriptions delivered there. So again, even if you don't have a car, you can get your prescriptions delivered right to campus, right there to the August Center. So the Student Life Center, which you can see right here, provides 5 multi-purpose basketball courts, 8 racquetball courts, dance and Zumba rooms, as well as an 1/8 of a mile long elevated indoor track. You can sign out locks for your lockers, towels, and sporting equipment with your student ID. The Weedman Fitness Center also features a range of machines, free weights, cardio equipment, as well as a CrossFit area. The Gordon Fieldhouse provides a venue for commencement, concerts, and other special events, such as our career fair. So the career fair is a 2-day event. On the first day, you would go with your resume, and you would network with potential employers. The second day, many of those employers would stay on campus and conduct interviews. So that's an excellent way that you can land either a full-time job or a co-op. We also have concerts, speakers, and other large events that happen in the Fieldhouse, so there's always something going on here. Our aquatic center includes a pool with a hot tub and a resistance lane, but since we are college students, we like to turn the resistance lane around and use it as a lazy river, so it's not uncommon to see students laminating their work and studying in there during finals week. So moving on, we'll take a look at Monroe Hall. Monroe Hall is where students can find coffee and baked goods at Artisano's Bakery, along with snacks and drinks at our convenience store, which is called Bites, or they can purchase equipment at our Digital Den, which is an authorized campus retailer of Apple products. The Student Alumni Union has several places to eat, including Ben & Jerry's. We actually have the only Ben & Jerry's in Monroe County, as well as Nathan's Soup and Salad and Brick City Cafe. So this is the Campus Center. Campus Center houses spaces for student life organizations such as Student Government, the Center for Women and Gender, the Club Center, New Student Orientation, the College Activities Board, Global Union, and many more. So I'll stop and talk about Student Government for a little as well, because they do a lot of wonderful things for our community. So Student Government runs something called Paw Prints, which is an online petitioning service. So any RIT student who wants to see any kind of change on campus could just submit a petition to Paw Prints. If it gets 200 signatures or more, Student Government is required to submit a formal response back about that. So for example, the library is now open 24/5, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, as a result of a Paw Prints petition. Also, faculty are required to give you graded work back at a maximum of 2 weeks after you submit it, again, because of a petition that a student submitted. Right here we can also see Witter, which is our student-run radio station, as well as the Reporter, which is our student-run magazine. Here we have the Schmidt Interfaith Center and our Center for Religious Life. There are 9 different faiths that do practice on our campus. If your faith is not one of those, you don't have to worry. All you'd have to do is go into the Interfaith Center and let them know, They would arrange for free transportation to somewhere in the Rochester area that does practice your faith. So moving on, we're back at the Bausch and Lomb Center, which houses career services and cooperative education offices. During co-op, you will alternate full-time study with paid work experience. Each year, more than 3,500 students complete co-op experiences here, so co-ops are a huge part of the RIT education. The Office of Graduate and Part-Time Services, the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarship, and the Office of Undergraduate Admissions are all also located in this building. So this will bring us to the end of the tour. I'm just going to share with you guys why I chose RIT, and then Anna will do the same, and then we'll wrap up. So for me, as a high school senior, I was about as indecisive as they come. I visited 14 different institutions. I applied to 9, and I got into 7. And RIT was actually the last school that I applied to and visited. And I absolutely fell in love with campus. I thought it had some of the best aspects of all the other schools I had looked at. Some of the things that drew me here in particular, one was definitely the size of the institution, where we have all of the resources of one of the largest private schools in the country, but at the same time, our class sizes are small. So you really get to know your faculty members, which is very important when you go to need a recommendation letter or advice in your job search. Those faculty are familiar with you through all the time that you've been in school. Something else that drew me here was definitely the distance to the city. I visited a lot of other institutions that were actually in cities, and that came with a lot of disadvantages. At RIT, we definitely have access to everything going on inside Rochester, but at the same time, we're in the suburbs, so we can kind of take a step back sometimes, which is really nice too. Then finally, the co-op program. It wasn't really until I got to school here that I realized that companies value that real-world work experience, sometimes even more than something like a good GPA. And RIT is definitely one of the few places in the country where you absolutely can get both. Anna, would you like to share why you chose RIT too?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, photojournalism is a really, really specific major. So not a lot of universities across the country offer it. Fortunately for me, RIT was one of them. RIT was actually one of the last colleges on my radar. I like to say that RIT was the last thing that I wanted, but actually exactly what I needed. I thought I wanted to be in the middle of a city. I thought I wanted to, be doing something like that. And I ended up here on a closed campus, a relatively smaller school, which, like I said, was exactly what I needed. I came and visited the college and really fell in love with the professors and the program. I knew that I would get a really, really good education and be able to do exactly what I wanted with my career. Something else that drew me into RIT was the diversity initiatives. RIT is really, really been making strides to become more inclusive and diverse. And so as an Asian woman, I really, really valued that. And I've been able to kind of help in those initiatives throughout my 4 years here at RIT. So that's my story. That's how I'm here.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope you guys all liked the tour, and we hope to see you guys at RIT in the future.